I think we all know what a gifted and talented teacher Abe was himself. His gift, his encyclopedic knowledge, his analytic ability, and his ability to be able to speak to anyone at any age, from a young child to 80, 90, 100-year-olds. We're reminded of Abe when we listen to what Rabbi Ibn Ezra, a distinguished Jewish poet and philosopher, who said, "In seeking knowledge, the first step is silence, the second listening, the third remembering, the fourth practicing, and the fifth teaching others." Abe was all of this and so very much more. He was the executive director of SAGE here in Broward, and at the same time, he was the associate executive director of SAGE in Miami. I dare say that he is the only person that I have ever come across that was able to work in two locations, two communities, and make a huge impact at the same time. He was considered the best of the best by the teachers, the best by other colleagues, and the best by his students. I was placed in Miami right out of graduate school by an organization called the American Association of Jewish Education. And Abe, already being here in Miami for many years, at the time at SAGE in Miami, felt very strongly that part of his role is to encourage young educators to work in a Jewish communal setting. And so he and Jean Greenswag, Alav HaShalom, decided that I would come and work at SAGE. And who would be my supervisor? Abe Gittelson. 24 years. 24 wonderful years. Abe was my supervisor, colleague, and friend. He was enthusiastic and encouraging. He often said to me, "Do you think it'll work? How do you see it happening? What do you want the end goal to be?" A teacher's teacher. He was universally loved and respected. And creativity was part of his very talent. How many of us remember and know the program that is still current, of Proud and Jewish? That was the first program in South Florida where special needs children could come and receive a Jewish education. And with Fran Foreman, Alav HaShalom, they were dedicated in not only reaching students that had special needs, but a place for them. And he was so excited when one of the students actually became a bar mitzvah. The Melton Mini School, how many people know about that? Abe saw and had a great vision for what the Melton School could bring to South Florida. It was a kernel of a program in other communities, including in South Broward, but Abe really helped that program to blossom so that so many thousands of students could participate. The Jewish Book Festival. The Jewish Book Festival is now part of the JCC, but how many of us knew that it was actually Abe's idea with Helen Weisberg as they sat in the office in Broward County and discussed the SAGE Jewish Book Festival. Judaica High School, my first love. Anybody ever hear of that? It was Abe's idea to take the 35 students that were at the JCC and help to create a larger program by putting a full-time professional there. That was me. It grew to over 800 students. The Student TV Seder. The first year that we worked together, we were approached by a local television station to have teenagers participate in a TV Seder. One of them was part of the Reinstein family. And I said to Abe, I can't do this, I can't do this, I've never been on TV. He said, you can. I said, I can't. What do I do with my 2-year-old daughter? I'll babysit. Mind you, he wasn't even a grandfather then. So we get to the TV studio, and Abe says to me, What do I do with her? The Rabbi's Advanced Study Class. Abe created an advanced study class where the rabbis that were retired in our community could study Torah. It took them a full year to complete one sentence in the Torah. The discussion was so deep and so meaningful. They met Mondays, and Abe looked forward to that every single week. The Jewish Teachers Institute. Today we still, at SAGE, work with teachers and consider that an important part of what we do. The encouragement and the development of the March of the Living. The University of Miami student trip to Poland. When Abe came back from that trip to Poland, he was amazed by what he had seen, but he had one question. He said, "Sharon, what does the bomb mean?" "The bomb means you're great, Abe." So the college students used to call him on the trip the bomb. And it was a very wonderful, warm way for them to understand his talent. Of course, there are hundreds of women who attended Hadassah groups in Brandeis. Abe never refused to speak to any group. And while Shalama tried to tend to make sure that he was eating and always made sure that he had lunch, many times we know that he missed dinner because he decided to accept the speaking engagement. And that was Abe too. Just a few more ideas. The development of an actual teacher center was something that he developed in Broward. We didn't have the money in those days to really create a full teacher center, so he emptied out his closet and I emptied out my closet, and we spray painted some shelves that we bought from Home Depot, and there we created the first teacher center. And then finally the merger of North and South Broward Sage that Abe presided over and really created a much stronger, unified Jewish educational presence here in Broward. There's so much more that we could talk about. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of a kernel of his impact here in Broward County. And I hope that if you've participated in any of these programs, you realize where they came from and the ability of one person to make a huge difference. His love of the Jewish people will be with all of us forever, and we continue to be inspired by his work and in his name. Thank you.